Welcome to the Revolutionary CEO podcast. I'm your host, Letitia Lynch, Paris lover, devoted boy mom, Capricorn, and chronic overachiever. After launching my business in 2020, it grew faster than I anticipated and quickly turned into all the things I hated about toxic corporate overwork culture. Now I'm restructuring it to prioritize the lifestyle I desire and break free from overworking without compromising my income. Join me every Wednesday as I give you the inside scoop on how to balance business, work, motherhood, self-care, and mental health. As your marketing coach, I'll also be sharing my experiences with contractors and clients, having a team, as well as personal and business branding, practical business and marketing advice, strategies, and tips. Let's get into it. Welcome back, y'all. So today I want to dive deep into a concept that I believe is what is a missing piece of the puzzle of your high ticket marketing strategy. And this is really just the concept of understanding that businesses have seasons and how those seasons are intertwined with why I've been really trying to get you guys to understand what I've been calling the marketing mastery matrix. So if you haven't caught episodes 6 and 7 of this season, you really need to go back, because in episode 6, I talked about how you should be evolving your high ticket marketing strategy to adjust with your business as it grows. Because whatever business you had at the very beginning, in my case, 2019, 2020, is probably and likely completely different than what business you have right now today. Your marketing strategy should evolve with your business as you grow. But beyond just growth, your marketing strategies, as I talked about in episode 7, sometimes there are things that stop you and prevent you from feeling comfortable adapting your marketing strategies, be it because you've used a marketing strategy that you were so used to that worked really well, and you're too afraid to change it for fear that it will ruin the success that you've created in your business, or you've been working with coaches and people who made you feel like those were the only ways that you could find success. And so you're too afraid, again, to do anything different because you don't know what else to do. But in this episode, I want you to understand that there is more than just I have to adapt and adjust my marketing strategy because my business is growing. There's also just different seasons of business that you're going to go through. I want you to visualize and see your business as a living, breathing entity. And just like nature's seasons, our businesses really do go through different cycles and seasons. And each of these seasons, and we're going to leverage them as spring, summer, fall, and winter, encapsulates a unique energy, focus, and set of activities that naturally should be aligning with the rhythms of your high ticket business. When I look at a season like spring, what this really represents for your business is the season of planting and new beginning. It's about infusing your business with new energy and innovative ideas and setting the stage for what's to come, because then summer walks up, right? And this symbolizes the season of growth and scaling, where the focus is just on leveraging the momentum that you should have built in the spring, optimizing your sales and broadening the customer base. Whereas fall signifies the season of harvest, optimization, and a reflective period to assess what worked, what didn't work, and then making all the necessary adjustments to refine your strategies. Because then when winter comes and you're trying to slow down, you're trying to restore, you're trying to plan, it's the perfect quiet time for you to rest, reassess, and strategically plan for the upcoming cycles. I'm going to dive deeper into these 4 seasons, but I wanted to kick this off by letting you know that they do exist. You probably feel them, and I don't need you to think of the seasons as matching the seasons that are within your environment where you live. I'm talking about the seasons within you and your business. Because when you can really think about it like this will help you to better understand that you are going to have to adapt your marketing and your strategies to accommodate the season that your business is in, and the level and the stage of your business, and the type of offers that your business is putting out, and the things that you're doing during these different seasons. When you think of the marketing mastery matrix and why I'm trying to help you guys understand why I had to come up with something like this and give a name to it, is because this is going to be your roadmap, basically a tool that's going to align seamlessly with each business season. And it's not meant to be a one size fits all, which I think we have been accustomed to seeing. And we feel like we have to do, I have this type of business, so that means I'm supposed to do these types of launches and this type of marketing. No, with the Marketing Mastery Matrix, I am going to be able to teach you guys how to adapt and evolve it according to your season that your business is navigating and that you're navigating as a CEO. I'm going to introduce each season, give you kind of the energy, the focus, how marketing will align if you do certain things, and then some strategies for you to consider. But then I'm also going to tell you some common mistakes that I see people doing in each season, and it's why you have a hard time navigating it. And then I want to talk about some effective strategies that's going to help you through. Don't forget, if you come to my upcoming masterclass, Marketing Mastery Matrix, I am going to give you everything you need to be able to mix and match these strategies, and I'm going to dive deeper into them. I can't really do that here, but I'm going to give you a little preview. Okay, so let's start off with the spring. Spring, if you think about the spring, it's the season of planting and new beginnings. Energy here is going to be fresh, you're enthusiastic, you're full of ideas. I feel like a lot of people come into the new year with that spring vibe, right? We come into the new year, new me, new business. And you come in with all these ideas that you probably came up with in Q4 when you were doing your annual planning sessions and you were doing your vision board parties. It makes sense that a lot of people come into the new year with this attitude. But for some of you, you come into the new year like, whew, okay, I made it through last year. Let me assess everything. Whenever spring happens for your business, the energy, you'll feel it. You come into it thinking these things. Some symbols and signs to look out for when you're in that spring season of business is you're feeling a surge of fresh energy and inspiration. You have a lot of new ideas and projects are definitely blossoming. You're planning an initiation, that stage of how you like to operate in your business. This is dominant, right? And your focus is going to be primarily on things like visibility, building community, creating a brand presence. But beyond that, you got to think about your focus. Your focus in business at that stage, in that season, is building foundations. It's creating your new offers. It's launching your products. Marketing aligns with that by focusing on, again, that brand visibility, the engagement, the community building. And some strategies that people typically would consider is, upping their social media presence, upping their content creation. They're building their networks. But here's where things get a little tricky, because the common mistakes I see when some business owners are in their spring season is overcommitment to too many new ideas. A lot of times, as a creative, it's very easy for me to come up with all the new ideas and have all these aspirations. But I think sometimes we get a little in over our heads with the new ideas and just how much we can seamlessly integrate those new ideas with our existing lives and business. And when you forget that you are an existing business owner with existing clients and existing problems and existing processes, when you try to integrate these new ideas that seemingly are more interesting because they're fresh, it's hard to remember that you have other things going on and to, I think, estimate or properly estimate the amount of time and energy that you're going to be able to commit to this new thing. You tend to neglect a structured, strategic foundation for these spontaneous activities. It's why you're like, oh, I could pop up on stories today and start selling some stuff. You do that, and then you get people in and their client experience is suffering because they're like, what's going on? It's because you rushed to sell something. Just think about that. Effective strategies that are going to help you in this spring season is prioritizing actions that are truly aligned with your business objectives. And you really need to understand what those are. And gradually and steadily building up your community and your brand. Okay, so summer. Now, the summer season for business is the season of growth and scaling. Your energy here is very high, right? The high energy is still there, and you're leveraging the momentum that you actually built up during spring because, right, you were building your visibility. You were doing all this extra content that you don't normally do. You get momentum when you're consistent with content and with your marketing. The focus at this season is optimizing sales, right? Leveraging all that energy and all that attention you've been getting to get sales. It's increasing your customer base. It's enhancing the products and the services that you put out there. Some signs that you're in your summer season is first, you're very deeply involved in actively selling, promoting, and expanding all of those activities. There's also a momentum in your business activities, and you're actively seeking to obviously capitalize off of that, right? And your focus is really on optimizing conversion strategies, so getting people to convert into paying clients. You're enhancing your services, your offers, and you're growing your customer base. But the thing you have to think about when it comes to the summer, right, is your focus, right? Your focus is definitely optimizing sales, increasing customer base, enhancing the services. But in order to do that, your marketing needs to align by focusing on conversions, looking at your conversion rate, looking at customer acquisition, scaling efforts. Strategies that I've seen people consider successfully in their summer season are paid ads, partnerships, scaling the existing marketing channels and business channels that you have. But the common mistakes I see with business owners at that summer stage is overextending the scaling efforts. You ever see someone who's like, oh, I should do ads, and then they spend tens of thousands of dollars on ads. So even if they had a stupendous launch, they spent up all the profit. You're doing a lead magnet event, but now it went from being a masterclass to a 5-day workshop. It's the overextending ourselves to scale that often takes over when we're excited about a new thing and we get people hype about it. It's also often prioritizing the quantity of clients over the quality of service. We've seen this one too many times. I know a lot of you guys have invested in some of these really big names, and you're getting there because you get FOMO because they're sharing every day a sticky note and a welcome graphic. And you're like, damn, I got to get in this program. Everyone's in it. And then you get in because the hype got you. And you're like, well, first of all, I didn't get an email confirmation. I had to send a separate email. And then I had to follow up. And then they said that we're going to get something in a few days. It's been a few days and now we still don't have it. You know, those things happen because that person was in their summer season getting it and then they forgot to think about the quality of the service. The thing that's going to help you in this particular season, right, is to be more thoughtful and selective with the partnerships and the channels that you're leveraging, and to continuously refine your offers. I think what sucks when we start to scale our offers, like your group programs, your mastermind, is that when you get through each round, immediately jumping back into launching the next round without ever reflecting on the forms, the customer forms where they give you feedback after the program, looking at the types of people that you got in the program and how can you improve it. It sucks because then the next group comes in and they're getting this poor experience that you actually could have prevented had you actually looked back at the feedback that you got the year before. Ever feel overwhelmed by marketing strategies that seem out of sync with your business's current reality or the true vision you see for your business in the future? Introducing the Marketing Mastery Matrix, marketing strategies for every stage of business evolution, a masterclass where I'll teach you adaptive marketing strategies that fluidly evolve with each stage of your business journey. Tailor your marketing efforts with precision, ensuring every move you make resonates deeply, connecting with the right people at the right moment. No more one-size-fits-all marketing. Visit marketingmasterymatrix.com to register for the masterclass. So let's talk about fall. So I look at fall as the season of harvest and optimization. Now, your energy during fall season of business is reflective. You're analyzing what worked and you're optimizing your business for much better results the next time and in the future. When I look at the fall season, some signs that you're going to notice if you're in fall is you're in a phase of reaping the benefits of your prior efforts, right? Your launch is over and now you're onboarding your clients. You made a lot of money and it all hit your account, right? It's exciting. You're looking at all the outcomes and you're analyzing everything that happened and you're making necessary adjustments. You're also focusing on, or shifting at least your focus toward optimizing your processes, because you definitely see after a launch, after a really busy season, getting through spring and summer, you start to think like, man, I got to update these processes. I got to really update and solidify my customer relationships of the people that are already paying me. I have to enhance and make things more efficient. You're also working toward refining your marketing strategies based on the data and feedback that you've collected. The thing that I notice a lot is that a lot of you will do all this marketing and launching and then never look at the data afterward. And then you go into the next launch like it's brand new, but you will have already had data had you looked at it the last time. Your focus needs to be in fall season, streamlining operations, customer retention, and maximizing your profits. And marketing here should align by you refining your marketing strategies, you focusing on your customer experience and loyalty. Some strategies to consider here is email marketing for retention, like your onboarding email sequences. If you had courses, helping them through the course and encouraging them to make it through. If you have, community-based things, then sending them periodic emails and letting them know what's coming up. All of those things, right? Customer feedback, I already talked about that, collecting testimonials. But some common mistakes I see happening for y'all in that fall season of business is you're too rigid in sticking with the initial strategies and plans. And here's where the marketing matrix comes in. The marketing mastery matrix comes in here because a lot of times, and I talked about this in episode 7, there are a lot of concerns about keeping the exact same things that were tried and true in the past when you might have been a different person in the past. So being too rigid is going to stop you from improving. And then sometimes I see you guys overlooking the importance of customer feedback. You cannot be afraid to hear the truth, and you can't only rely on the people giving you glowing testimonials to say my program is amazing. No, sir, no, ma'am. We really need to be asking our clients, even if they gave us glowing reviews, can you give me feedback? What are some ways that I can improve? Every once in a while, you'll get someone that's like, it's perfect as is, but every time you're going to at least get one or two people who are like, well, while I did love X, Y, and Z, here are some things I would love for you to change, or this would make this a better experience for me. You gotta be willing to ask for feedback so that you can improve your offers. Because what we do want to have is client retention over client acquisition. The more we can retain, the better it is for us to not have to focus so much energy on getting brand new people. Some effective strategies that will help you in the fall season if you see yourself hitting those common mistakes is being open to revisiting and revising strategies. I'm not saying completely scrapped what was your tried and true, but just recognize that tried and true doesn't always mean it will last forever. And you have to be open to making shifts and changes as your life evolves, as people's buying behavior evolves, as these platforms that we're leveraging evolve. We're going to have to evolve as well. And also actively collecting and utilizing customer feedback. It's great if you guys are collecting all of these testimonials and client feedback forms, but if you never go back and actually do any of the improvements based on what you found in the form, then it defeats the purpose. What were you doing? Just listening to gossip? Because that's what it ends up being, right? The last season of business you're going to look at is your winter season, which is really the season of restoration and planning. The energy here in your winter season is obviously lower. It's your time for rest. It's your time for reflection and planning your next cycles, because you want to come into your spring, summer, which are very high energy. That burnout happens when you're not respecting the different seasons of business and you try to carry that summer energy, that spring energy into fall, winter. Come wintertime, you're done. This is time for your energy to be lower, time for rest, time for reflection, time for planning, right? When I think of the winter season, what I want you to look for so that you can say, oh, that's where I am, is your business activities are slowing down. It's when you start to kind of allow space for rest and recuperation. Sometimes it's forced because your body's shutting down because you weren't listening to it. You'll also notice sometimes in a lot of our industries, there are just kind of natural seasons of rest. Think about it. If I was a teacher, my natural rest time, my winter time would probably be the summertime when school is out, because I get to rest and I get to rest for longer periods of time. Whereas the winter break, when you think winter might be, is actually, no, I don't really get to rest that long. But my summer break is my time to actually slow down and rest and recuperate from a long school year if I were a teacher. So just think about it. It's different. It doesn't have to be the end of the year, December, November. For a lot of us, it's not. Signs that you're also in winter is when you start to think about strategic planning, you're setting goals, you're trying to prepare for the next cycle or of your current focal points that you're going to be focusing on in business. And your marketing activities are a lot more subdued, right? You're focused on planning the content rather than executing content. You're thinking about refining your strategies. You're doing a little bit of research to see what you might want to do the next time around. So in that winter season, your focus is really and should be strategic planning, goal setting, and outlining what new projects you might want to do. Your marketing would align here by being lighter on active campaigns and heavier on the content planning and the strategy side of things. Some things and strategies that you can consider here is doing things like audience surveys, market research, and planning future campaigns. But the common mistakes I see, because it's always here, is just going completely ghost on your marketing efforts. When I say slow down, that does not mean disappear with your marketing. Winter seasons is not a time for you to just forget that you have an audience that you've been building up, because what happens is the little bit of momentum that you have carried through spring, summer, and fall are gone by the end of wintertime because you messed around and forgot that you had people to talk to engage with. These communities exist whether or not you want to show up, but they won't show up for you if you disappear. Also, neglecting the importance of research and planning. You cannot keep winging it because the last time you winged it, it was fine and you did get some clients. Did you hit your goal? If you hit your goal, did you like the people that you got in your program? Because often we come off of one of them summer seasons where we was getting it and selling and converting anybody and everybody, especially if you were making those common mistakes that I talked about earlier. You start to realize like, oof, I need to plan better. I need to do better research. I need to make some updates because what I did didn't work, right? Didn't work like I thought it did. So some effective strategies that are going to help you in the winter season of business is balancing rest with some light but very strategic marketing activities. I would say, actually, I'm going to say that for the Marketing Mastery Matrix Masterclass, I'm going to give that audience some great things that I would suggest doing and some ideas. So I'm going to save that. You have to attend. I'll make sure that the link is in the show notes. But also another effective marketing strategy at this time is active involvement in audience surveys and doing market research. When you think about marketing for your business within seasons, this is like a cyclical approach, right? There are cycles. This allows businesses to stay aligned with their natural rhythm and ensure that your strategies are easy to adapt and they resonate with your current business's focus and the energy levels that you have. And you can adjust those strategies within each season to resonate with the energy of you, and focus that you feel corresponds most accurately with each stage of your own business. When I tell you that this all hit me, and I was like, I have to share this with my podcast listeners. I really wanted you guys to start to think about business this way. And I feel like you probably and should have had so many aha moments during this episode. If you enjoyed hearing this and hearing about these seasons and you want more, because I know there's a lot more that I could be telling you, you want to attend the Marketing Mastery Matrix Masterclass. Hopefully you catch it live, but if you don't, there will be a replay. But I want you to register for that masterclass at marketingmasterymatrix.com. And the reason I want you to come is because not only am I going to dive a little bit deeper into each of these seasons, but I'm also going to talk about how you could do different strategies, marketing strategies within each of these seasons and better recognize what's going on in those seasons so that you can be prepared to prevent that burnout, to prevent that overwhelm, to prevent you from ghosting, to prevent you from being desperate and taking on any clients because you missed one of the other seasons, to know what to look out for and how to make adjustments to get yourself back on track. I really want you guys to deeply understand the importance of the who, what, where, when, why, and how of the marketing matrix and how that all plays a part in each one of these seasons. Because if you can understand that, I can promise you guys that business will get a whole lot easier and more manageable no matter what's going on in your personal life or within that business. I'll see you in the next episode. If you enjoyed this episode as much as I did, subscribe to the Revolutionary CEO podcast on your favorite podcast listening platform and leave a review to let me know the moments you enjoyed the most. For insights, tips, and conversations, connect with me on Instagram, YouTube, or TikTok. I'm always at Her Marketing Coach. Together, let's continue empowering ambitious and driven women in business. Talk to you next week.